At the moment, we estimate that 9 of every 10 people in Gaza Strip have been internally displaced at least once, if not up to 10 times, unfortunately, since October. For our programming purposes, as humanitarian community, we estimate that the population present in Gaza comprises about 2.1 million people. And we have said since the beginning of the war that basically all of them, unfortunately, are in need of assistance. Out of the current Gaza population, we also estimate that 1.9 million are internally displaced, multiple times. So, for example, the patterns of movement that we have registered in the last 2 days, they are not necessarily adding to this number because some of those, or many of those, were already displaced. And then they moved in different areas, and now they are moving again, trying to find a safe space, if there is any of such.
First one regarding your work or coordination with the.
But beyond these numbers, there are people, of course, men, women, boys, and girls, doctors, students, cooks, artists, journalists, teachers, moms, dads, and people that have fears and grievances, and they had probably dreams and hopes. The less and less I fear today, unfortunately. What we're seeing, unfortunately, is patterns that more and more resemble and go back to the originally identified area where the government of Israel and the IDF told us that they want to concentrate all the people. And that's what the patterns that we consistently see unfolding in front of our eyes. With some people remaining in the north, out of this 2.1 million people, we estimated 350,000 are in the north, and those cannot come to the south. The strip is completely broken in two as of today. There are military presence that is blocking movements and impeding movements for the civilians, and frequently, unfortunately, also obstructing our ability to move. But delivering for us is a daily struggle. Literally, we have to, make gigantic efforts to sustain some lifelining of our services. The delivery of fuel. One thing, fuel is why would that be so important? But fuel allows hospitals to continue providing services, life-saving, life-sustaining services in hospitals. Fuel allows water to be desalinized and provide basically drinking water to people. Fuel allows us to move food around and bring to the multiple number of NGOs that are cooking in tequilas and offering food and meals to people that is desperate in need. Nowhere and no one is safe in Gaza. We keep on saying this. We have seen over and over, military operation and bombardment happening also in the heart of the humanitarian safe zone unilaterally declared by Israel. 274 workers and volunteers, our colleagues, my colleagues, have been killed so far. And many of them were killed on duty. Others were killed at home with their families and their family members. The insecurity of humanitarian workers is closely related to, and unfortunately accompanied by, those campaigns that call aid organization to question for inability to deliver. We have a dialogue with Israeli daily, literally multiple times actually. And we explain our challenges. We try to find solutions. We work out, understanding that, of course, war is war, and it might have his logic and his objectives. But, humanitarian assistance is an obligation that all the parties have to respect, Israeli and other armed groups. And we keep on calling them all to help us to deliver the assistance that is so dearly needed to, desperately needed to Palestinians. We have made an appeal for 3.4 billion for the response in Gaza. As of now, we have only 35% covered. And you might tell me, but you're describing so many challenges to deliver, so why would you appeal for more money? The reality is that if we will be able to reach the situation where a ceasefire will be called, or even a pause, we will not be able to scale up our operation to the level necessary unless those resources are mobilized. So it is absolutely important to invest and mobilize those resources now to make sure that when this will happen, we'll be able to scale up. And in the meantime, we'll spare no effort day in, day out to increase our ability to deliver, stay and remain and protect civilians. The situation in West Bank in general is complicated. As you know, the economy of West Bank is very much integrated with Israeli, and since the 7th of October, a lot of that is not happening anymore. So not only there is the issue of the revenue, but it is also all the issue of the economic exchange that were happening between Israel and West Bank, and there are thousands of jobs lost, thousands of business opportunities lost, and this situation is really concerning us because it could bring a deterioration of the situation to the point where you could have a serious further deterioration in the West Bank. Moving a dialogue on this.
هذه المرة اللي بيطلع عليها هي انزل على الشاطئ.